Hi, my name is Rodrigo Pacheco. I'm a chef from Ecuador, founder of Boca Valdivia, a restaurant that looks to restore beyond the restaurant, that has restored damaged ecosystem by implementing highly biodiverse edible forests. Today I will prepare a special recipe for you, aloe vera chicharrones, with one of my favorite plants from this garden, aloe vera, which is a drought-resistant species that brings highly nutritional values and also is accessible for most of the people in the world. It is very simple to treat aloe vera. What you have to do is make an incision with a sharp knife on the edges, getting rid of an outside edge. It reminds me to work with fish, only that this comes from the garden. What we will do is to try to point the knife upwards, so we are only getting rid of the outside skin of the plant, like this, and then we do that with the other side as well. See, this is one of the most amazing products on earth, and even if the flavor is not as pleasant when it's raw, we will easily transform it into something delicious, creative, and easy to make. We will cut long pieces and then we will cut them in half, creating 4 same size aloe vera cuts. We have to bring some water with salt up to boiling temperature. We will add some rosemary freshly picked up, and we will put in the aloe vera. We will need to boil it through for several minutes until it becomes white and it eliminates all the thick and the iodine taste that is very characteristic of this plant. And what we will have as a result is a tender and delicious product from a plant. Okay, so we're letting this get cold, and now we're going to bread it. Now that the aloe vera has been thoroughly boiled and dried, we will put them in flour. This will isolate the presence of egg, and the egg will only be used to glue the outside part, which is this Ecuadorian bread crust, this Ecuadorian bread crust called salprieta, made of peanut, made of corn, made of achote, which are emblematic species of Ecuador. A lot of people ask me, what is the star product of Ecuador, or what is the star recipe of Ecuador? And my answer will always be biodiversity. We have the privilege to count with such an immense biodiversity, to count with the generosity of nature, and this is a true advantage for a cook that wants to discover all these sources of nutrition that sometimes are hidden behind the traditions and the fact that the world is actually moving for 20 crops only, and more than 1 billion people suffer from chronic hunger. This is an example of how we can transform plants, drought-resistant plants, into food, into nutrition, and also into a very interesting culinary experience for your guests and family. As you can see, now the aloe vera has been fully breaded around, and this special crust made of peanut, achote, and toasted corn will definitely bring some nice surprise and will help us appreciate in a better way a strange plant such as aloe vera. Now we prepare some olive oil. The temperature shouldn't be over 170 degrees Celsius, which is the perfect frying temperature to avoid the product sucking on too much oil. Now that is gaining some roasted color, we turn them around and gently continue the process of cooking until all the crust is finished. Now that the crust is fully finished, we take out the aloe vera chicharrones from the oil and we leave them in soaking paper to avoid the excess of fat on the dish. Now we're ready to cut the chicharrones, and you will be able to see how thin and beautiful this crust is around the aloe vera, and how delicious will be when you try it at home. To use a very sharp knife is a must, and we want small pieces, small bites. We're going to cut about 6 to 8 pieces per person, which will be enough to enjoy this creative and climate-proof appetizer. For today's recipe, the aloe vera will not go on its own. We will design a variety of elements that will join this beautiful dance, this biodiversity representation of my garden, of my land, and of the world. We will add some beautiful ingredients today for this recipe with aloe vera. One of them is a variety of pickles. There is pineapple pickles, there is papaya pickles, and we also pickle the stem of some of the root vegetables that we use around in this garden. This will bring this acidic note and will also represent the neighbors of this beautiful plant, because the aloe vera in this edible forest does not live alone, does not live by herself. It has neighbors, it has good friends around her, and this is what we will try to represent on this dish today. We will also chop some chives that I just harvested from this beautiful edible forest behind me to enhance the flavors and to add some freshness to this appetizer today. We will start plating this homemade sour cream in one side of the dish to enjoy the pickles, to enjoy the chicharrones. Now it's time to add this fresh variety of these edible forest pickles. This will be very unique for your guests. It will be a storytelling sort of appetizer that will allow you to start a beautiful conversation around plants, around biodiversity, that can also transmit information about this product, about climate change, and how chefs and cooks and mothers and everyone who is interested in kitchen feel empowered to be able to change and to create these climate-proof recipes, plant-based, with elements that are accessible for most. This variety of herbs that we have chosen today, wild herbs that remind us the importance of biodiversity, the importance of eating this variety, this generosity that nature is offering us, and also to give back, also to retribute this generosity from nature. Why I chose aloe vera? Because it is such an important element of the garden. It provides all year long harvest with a very low amount of water needed, and now it's time to transform this beautiful plant into a culinary experience as we have been doing for the past 9 years at Boca Valdivia. Feel safe to use it, feel safe to try new forms of using the aloe vera. And today we chose to transform this plant into chicharrones with this amazing crust of peanuts, of roasted corn, achote, bringing to the table an important message of biodiversity, of cultural re-encounter, and a climate-proof recipe as an example of how chefs, restaurants, hotels around the world should be promoting the food in today's world. I come from the south of Ecuador. I come from the ancestral coast where 12,000 years of culture have brought me great source of inspiration to be able to find my type of cooking based on this ancestral wisdom, living in the present world, but also thinking about the future of all living beings and how we are able to transform, to conserve, to restore through what we do.